Before getting into the blockchain strategy, and the blockchain investment, we need to understand some of the questions. First of all, what is blockchain? Why do we need to implement blockchain? Where blockchain technology can be adopted? When do you need to implement blockchain? Which sub technology needs to be considered? What kind of platform services you need to consider? How can we implement blockchain with a solution that works during the current challenging time, and the solution should be capable of scaling up for the future? Of course, this needs to be cost effective. To explain the above questions, in this video, let us understand the value proposition and the value creation from the topic called Integrated Design Thinking and Customer Experience Principles for Blockchain Solutions. So in the first section, let us understand what is blockchain, what are the industrial use cases of blockchain, when do we need to go for blockchain, and which are the factors driving blockchain. So let me explain blockchain step by step. The first step is a user requests for a transaction. And the second step is a block representing the transaction is created. The third step is the block is broadcasted to all the nodes in the network. The fourth step is all the nodes validate the block and the transaction. And the fifth step is the block is added to the chain. And the final step is the block is verified and executed. So this is a simple 6-step process to explain blockchain. Let me introduce the word BAAS. BAAS is blockchain as a service. So, what is blockchain as a service? This is a cloud offering that allows customers to leverage cloud based platforms to build and operate their blockchain applications. This is like running the back end operations for blockchain based app or platform. Today, in the market, there are big companies who offer BAS services, but it is critical to choose the right BAS platform to support activities like managing bandwidth, hosting needs, choosing and allocating the right skilled resources, and enabling customized data security features. Using BAS, the customer can focus on their business and the functionality of the blockchain because BAS takes care of rest of the things. So in order to choose the right BAS platform, one of the solutions which is recommended is the integrated design thinking and customer experience for blockchain applications. And we let us continue to understand how this solution can help aligning to the specific needs of your organization and also aligning to the business of your customer. In this section, let us look at the summarized version of how the solution works. So we now understand blockchain as a platform, which is what we call as BAS. Now also we understood what are the features which are required to choose BAS. But we should also understand that while blockchain is emerging, it still faces some challenges, barriers, and constraints to be addressed, validated, and evaluated so that your implementation caters to the specific customized needs. And let me explain this by giving an example. Skill availability is a challenge, right? And the experience of knowing how to implement blockchain is limited by the developers, and this lack of specialists and real experts cost too much. So sourcing and building the right capability for specific blockchain skills becomes very important here. And in order to cater to this requirement, you need to have an innovative deep dive approach to develop an out of the box solution in terms of creating a roadmap for skill development so that your blockchain requirement can be catering to the specific customized needs. The second important thing which we discussed today was on the factors which are affecting blockchain. Here, university setup, because you need a knowledge base when you have a long-term plan of implementing and operating blockchain needs. So the university becomes very important here to develop that knowledge base, and whatever is your new learnings can get into the university. And we also spoke about the developer skill availability just now. So that is again becomes an important and integral part of the blockchain university. Now, if you look at the business use cases, you should also look at the success of the blockchain business use cases, which is catering to your kind of solution you're building for your specific customized needs. Naturally, it has to be cost economical. Your return on investment versus the value of trust enablement should be balanced, and it is very important in this pandemic era and also post pandemic era to shift from the proof of concept centric to business case centric adoption, because the factors which are affecting blockchain should cater to your current needs, and also it should be scalable for your future needs. And to discuss about this, you also need to understand what are the challenges which you face and what are the needs to implement blockchain. And we discussed that a few minutes back on this topic. If we look at the various needs which is being shown here, we all understand blockchain has got decentralization, it needs to have distributed ledger, it should have immutability. But what is happening here is there are some disadvantages which needs to be looked upon in terms of whether this is going to impact your development. So it could be in terms of high energy consumption, right? So because some solutions consume too much energy, that's what blockchain has a disadvantage. And blockchain cannot go back as data is immutable, because we are talking about immutability. There is also a solution which needs to be developed to ensure that you need to scale up, and it is looked upon that blockchain is harder to scale up to the requirement which you would need in the future. There is again a cost factor which needs to be looked upon. So while you look at these challenges, the important thing which every implementer of blockchain should look at is in terms of how transparent is this solution and how you can actually take care of addressing these disadvantages of blockchain. While there are many occasions where we talk about the challenges, it is also important to look at the industries, and we have seen the industry use cases where blockchain can be used, but there are also specific use cases which needs to be looked upon and it should be taken care. And what are these specific use cases? The specific use cases includes know your customer, KYC. It could be payment systems. It could be digital authentication of certificates. It could be proof of ownership for digital content, land registries, e-stamping, trade financing, decentralized patient records of management for healthcare, So like this, there are many use cases which needs to be implemented. And again here, it is very important that you need to do a deep dive in arriving at the success of the specific use cases for blockchain. So how does this solution work? One of the solutions which we strongly recommend to get into a deep dive of these examples which we have shown here and many other requirements is through design thinking. So what is design thinking here? Design thinking is a human-centered design process which can be used to unpack problems and successfully navigate for the required solutions to implement your blockchain for catering to specific customized needs. So there are different stages which we use in design thinking in terms of getting into problem unpacking, empathizing, defining, ideating, prototyping, and testing. And if design thinking is further integrated with customer experience, where you get an understanding into the specific needs of the customer using customer experience principles, and by integrating design thinking and customer experience, you will be able to arrive at a solution which can solve your problem, your customer's problem, and also develop a solution which can cater to the specific customized needs, which can further enhance the business value of your customers and create a differentiator which can add value to their business. So the solution which we are recommending is the I4DTCX model. And in the next few seconds, let us understand what is I4DTCX model.